Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
And welcome to Hear My Marriage podcast. I'm your host, Tara.
And I'm Pedro.
And today we have a special
Special guest. She's been on it before.
She has on
She's
our
not a
up under
stranger.
our old name. What was it? The Goddard's Real and Raw. Anyway.
It was one of those. I can't remember. It's been a minute.
We are past that stage now. We have grown. We have matured to Heal My Marriage because we know how important it is for us to grow and learn and heal in our marriages. So now we kind of really staying the course on that alone, just so we can reach people in marriages and people that want to be married and desire to be married, so we can give you some insight on our experience and and let you guys know how real it is. What you say, honey?
I say yes.
So Pedro is going to introduce our guest.
Yeah. So she's no stranger to you folks, especially on the Renters Radio London.
That's right.
She came, I think, a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's an author, a speaker, mental health educator. And last time we spoke to her, she was not this, but now she is a happy wife. Right. So without further ado, we are going to introduce Candice Bailey. I was about to say Andrews.
That's her maiden name.
I know, but I'm so used to saying it. I was about to say, I was like, that's what I look like. Bailey. What up, Candice?
Hey, it's good to be finally on the other side with the big boys.
Stop it. All the big things you're doing.
I know, right? Oh, my God.
Yeah. It feels good to be part of the marriage league.
Yeah.
So,
there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, you probably what, year and a half ago, you probably wouldn't even thought you would be in this spot right now.
No.
I think last time you was on, you had just lost your fiance.
Mm-hmm.
So you was just healing on that part, trying to get yourself, wrap your mind around that, and just trying to get yourself ready, for dealing with that. And then, I guess we're gonna let you get into how this all happened, and how you got to where you are, because you went back home, and next thing we know, you was texting us saying, "I'm about to get married." We was like, "What?"
I'm sure you probably thought it was a scammer.
No, because remember, we got married quick. We met in February and we got married in October. So, it doesn't. I'm a firm believer when you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we know that you're a lover of the Lord and that you put everything first when it comes to God.
Yeah.
So if you were saying you was about to get married, you had a lot of nights where you was praying about that one.
I'm trying to
You didn't just like find a man who was like, I don't care. First man I see, I'm marrying. You wasn't. I know that's not your style.
No.
I knew you was
definitely
like,
not Candice.
No, not Candice. I knew you was gonna be like, yeah. I mean, you was praying a lot. Hours. Yeah, I know. That's why when you said that, it didn't shock me.
Yeah.
Because with God is anything is possible. When it's meant for you, it's meant for you.
Definitely.
So you got to let God just lead you. We tell people all the time with marriage. We tell our kids this. Don't try to pick a woman or pick a man. Let God lead you to that person.
That's it.
Don't.
That's it.
God led me to Tara. Even though the circumstance of how we met was kind of weird and wasn't the best circumstance.
Right.
Because of what. At the time, we was in a different place, but he still led me to her. Because what are the chances of me getting a phone call to meet my niece, and Tara's the one that drives her?
Look at that!
Wow. And her aunt and my aunt lived right across the street from each other. We never saw each other.
Never.
She was always at my brother and sister's house, all the time. But every time she was there, I wasn't, and when I was there, she wasn't. So I would go visit. She wouldn't be there, and then when I left, she would then come. So all that, and then all of a sudden we meet, and it's boom. So
God was hiding her and preparing you, Pedro.
Yes, because I wasn't ready for it yet.
Yeah,
I wasn't ready. I wasn't even ready for when I met her. But I was ready to try to be with her.
Yeah.
Get. But if I met her any time before then, I was in too much foolishness that it would have just fizzled out.
Yeah.
So definitely, God definitely knew the right time. So yeah.
Yeah. I believe so.
Oh yeah, I know so. I don't believe. I know.
Yeah, he had to clean you up and give you a new mindset. Because this is going to be your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he didn't want you to damage her at all. Yeah.
Look at God.
Yeah, my mindset was definitely the cheating mindset at that point.
Wow.
When I met you, honestly, when I think about when I met you, I had made up my mind. I was done. I just wanted to be with somebody,
Wow.
just be like just with that person.
Yeah, exclusive.
Yeah, exclusive, like
Mm-hmm.
faithful. Just no matter what went on,
Mhm.
I was gonna be,
Dedicated.
and no running.
Committed. Mm.
Yeah, no
Yeah, and
running.
that was part of your healing.
Yeah,
There
definitely.
you
Now that
go.
you said that, I think about it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, enough about us,
Further do.
because we're gonna talk about you.
That's right.
Mhm.
So tell us a little bit about, you can
Becoming
start.
stretched and
Well, you can
strengthened for
tell us a
marriage.
little bit about
Yeah.
your fiance that passed, and
All
then
right.
and then what you went through into where you are now.
Yeah. Bit of your testimony.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Where do we start? So the last time you all spoke to me, I had just buried my fiance in Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and I came one day later to the UK to do ministry with you guys, and I was grieving, going through my process, and I got the counseling, and I decided, you know what, this pain is so heavy, it's gonna take a combo to help me to deal with it. So I was in counseling, praying and fasting, of course, and I decided I'm gonna write this book. And this book actually was inspired from a sermon I did in the UK when I was over there.
Mm.
Tara, I believe you did the song, the special message
All right. Yeah, I
before
did.
I
Mm-hmm.
started,
Yeah.
right? And the sermon was about the stretched out life
Mm.
and how Jesus lived, and his final position in terms of we remembering him was a stretched out posture, saying, I love you this much and I'm willing to give my entire life for you.
Right.
And from there I was like, wait, Jesus, if you live this life, you want your people to have a similar experience. So
Mm.
I started to see my grief as God stretching me, as
Mm.
building capacity to deal with what was to come.
Yeah.
Because we know all of us, we go through our trials and tribulations, and it's part of the Christian training, And
Mm-hmm.
after while writing the book, you know, it's almost like the Spirit of God said, go back to the singles ministry.
Mm.
Because I met him in the singles ministry.
Right.
So I was like, God, I already show off and boast that I'm gonna get married and I'm in a relationship. How am I going to go back into this ministry? People going to laugh. Nobody will want me because they will see me as somebody else's own, and the person died, and a whole host of different thoughts was coming in my mind. But
Mm.
I kept hearing the voice saying, go back and serve, go back and serve.
Right.
I said, okay. So I started to serve in the ministry again because I'm a admin leader.
Right.
And while serving one day, somebody slipped in my DM while I was on Zoom.
Oh
And the
God.
person said, hey, I want to get some more information from you. Can we connect? So this is me and my good admin self. Of course. Take my number, not thinking about anything much because I wasn't in the place of dating anybody. I was
Right.
still grieving.
Right.
And this person reached out and we started to talk. And I told him, here's what. He said he wants to connect over the phone. What do I rather, video call or voice? I was like,
Mm.
this brother taking it too far. So then I started to put on my admin hat, and he was like, are you in the ministry for admin or do you want to meet somebody? So
Oh.
I was like, ooh, he hitting hard. So I was
Oh.
like, here's what. I have 10 minutes. Let's talk. The 10 minutes turned into 40 minutes.
Mm.
Wow.
And I was like, no, this brother moving too quick. I don't
Oh.
want to have no feelings for him.
Right. Right.
That sounds
So
familiar.
he gives me some time out, just to cool down.
Right.
And he keeps messaging and he keeps checking in.
He was
So I was like, okay,
consistent.
Candice, it's time to drop the bomb on him. So I told him I was recently in a relationship, being about to be married, and the person died, thinking that that would have been a damper, he
Right.
pursued
Right.
me more.
Right. Oh wow.
He probably figured you was, you was single and ready to mingle.
And for something about this interaction, it brought me so much peace. It brought me so much happiness.
Mercy.
I felt like he didn't come with an agenda. I felt like he just wanted to really genuinely know me.
Mm-hmm.
He was very supportive.
Mm-hmm.
I told him about my counseling. I told him about my past. I told him about my trauma.
You was
I
straight
told
up.
him everything. And
This really is starting to sound familiar.
Yes.
he just kept on coming and kept on communicating. And then one day he said, I'm coming to meet you. I was
Wow.
like, what? I'm in Trinidad. You are in Florida. You don't know me. Why you want to come and see me? Why you want to invest money to meet me?
Wow.
And he got on a plane. I rented a car. I got an Airbnb for him because no way he was going to come home by me.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
I decided, here's what, Candice, you have to plan out like a itinerary. Take him all over Trinidad, see him in different environments, have conversation, that kind of thing.
Right.
By the way, my family or friends did not know about him.
Oh,
He and
that's
I were
good.
very private about it.
Good.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
That
And
was
when he
smart.
came, ah,
That was
That
smart.
was smart.
yeah, when he came, I told persons, oh, I have a singles retreat to go to. So every day I was getting up early, going somewhere. By the way, he came, we started talking March 5th of
Mm-hmm.
2023 and March and April 5th of 2023, he came.
Oh.
Ah, okay, so a month later.
But I need to tell you this. He came the same date that my fiance from before came to meet me in Trinidad.
Ah.
Wow.
So I felt like it was full circle.
How did
I
that
Mm-hmm.
make
didn't
you
book the
feel?
tickets, he did.
Wow.
So I said, God, this is strange. I was like, God, why do I feel like I am reliving the same script from last year?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I remember December before December of 2022, God said, I'm going to restore everything you lost. I didn't understand what that meant. This
Mm-hmm.
guy
Yeah.
came. When he came, I did everything under the sun. Because I was like, this is the only window of time I'm going to get to be with him to get to
Right.
understand him.
Right. Right.
So we went to the bird sanctuary, to the zoo, we went hiking, went to the beach. I carried him for doubles and roti and just give him a really good experience of Trinidad.
Right. Right.
And every day that I met up with him, we unpacked something about each other's lives that we never reviewed before.
That's important.
Yeah, and that sounds.
And
I don't mean to cut you off, but we did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't. I didn't. I did not. I lived in New York all my life, and I didn't do no sightseeing. But when I met Tara, I took her to New York, and we did everything under the sun.
Mm.
We went swimming. We went to the beach. We went in Bermuda. We went on the boat.
All of that.
We did all of that. We went to the theater to see The Color Purple when
Right, I
Fantasia
remember
was
that.
there. We did all like stuff that I'd never done before,
Mm-hmm.
ever. I was doing it with Tara. And like you
Wow.
said, we every day, every time, it just unpacks. Like you said, seeing them in that different environment, see how to handle themselves around people, around you. Or, I know exactly what you mean. I'm sorry, keep going.
So what happened after that, Candice?
I'm sorry. It just brought back.
that's
It just
okay.
flooded my. It just flooded my brain when you said that, because you sometimes don't realize you're doing something until somebody else
Bring it
says
up.
that
Yeah.
they was doing it, and then you like, wait, that's what we did.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead. I'm sorry. I digress.
So then, that's okay. So then I carried him to church this Saturday, and it was communion.
Mm.
Special day.
So it's almost like I got to reset my spirit,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
and he was able to be in the space with me.
Wow.
Was this in Trinidad?
And yes, in Trinidad.
So you took him to church. By then, you couldn't hide that. So by then, what did everybody, when you
No, I
walked
took
in?
him to a church far from me. I
I just
live
want to
south.
listen. Hey, I said that because somebody listening to this is gonna say that is. I'm guaranteed that is in their head. Well, if you took him to church, how did nobody know that you was, you understand? So I
Hmm.
had to say what was in my head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense. I think in your past life you probably was a police officer or something because you're very good at catching up.
Nah, I just
Anyway, we
asked
don't
because
believe
I'm
in
like,
past lives, but anyway.
Yeah.
Nah, no, I know what you
Yeah.
mean though.
So I live south, and I carried him everywhere north,
Gotcha,
Oh,
and I carried
gotcha.
him to places that no one will know me.
Right.
gotcha.
There you go. That's smart.
You couldn't be in
So
Bermuda.
carried him to church. We did communion. The sun was setting, and he said, "You know what? I've never done this before,
Wow.
but I think we should be in a relationship. We should be together."
Wow.
I was like, "You sure?" And I was on top of the moon.
Mm.
That night, he carried me for dinner. A man has never done this for me before. He told me, "Order what you want, drink what you want, don't think about the price. I have this."
Look at
I was
that.
like, "What?" Anyway, anybody knows restaurants that are in close proximity to the airport, they are higher.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
So he stayed in an Airbnb close to the airport so that, it will be easier to carry him around.
Right.
Mhm.
And this restaurant was very expensive. When I saw the bill, I was like, I would never spend this amount of money on myself in one place. And while I was there, I was like, this is how it feels to be loved. This is how
Mhm.
it feels to be understood, treated well, listened
Mm-hmm.
to. And day by day when we met up, I just felt a part of me being healed.
Mercy.
And I said yes to his proposal in terms of us being together. And when I had to drive him back to the airport, that was the longest drive ever. We spoke and he went on the plane. And since he got back, he was like, he just couldn't stop thinking about the encounter. And I said, here's what, now that we are at this stage, what are we going to do? We have to be intentional about this. So he said, okay, what are your guidelines?
Adjustments and plans.
And I said, one, we need to get pre-engagement counseling.
Mm.
And two, we need to read out the entire book of Adventist Home. I knew that if he was willing to read out this book with me, he was willing to go through certain stuff as well.
Right.
Mhm.
Because if if we can't deal with the spiritual man, it's no way we're gonna deal with the physical man.
Mm.
So we prayed every morning, every night. We read Adventist Home, and that's like 70 something chapters.
Wow.
There's a lot. Yeah,
He
yeah.
said, here's what, Candice, I need to come back and reveal myself to your family and your friends. So
Mm.
1 month later, he came back to Trinidad.
Wow.
He had a big dinner, like a banquet for all
Right.
my friends and family. He
Wow.
catered food because ain't no way I was cooking for all those people.
Yeah.
And it felt like a reception, like if we were married. And he stood up and he made a toast and he said, I'm really interested in Candice. Any questions you all have, ask it now. Because
Wow.
after I leave, forever hold your peace.
Wow.
There you
He
go.
said
My kind
that.
of man. Yeah,
My
there you go.
goodness.
And then a few days from that night was going to be his birthday. So I surprised him with a cake and we sang happy birthday for him. And I brought him flowers and he said no female had ever did that for him. And from there, I knew we were up to something and God was up to
Amen.
something.
Wow.
Wow.
He paid for all 14 sessions of the pre-engagement counseling. The pastor said, don't waste my time if this is not going to end in marriage. So if
Wow.
you're not serious, forget
Don't
about
do
it.
it.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right.
Long story short, we did the counseling. The pastor gave us his blessing and said, you all were ready. I had finished my personal counseling, and then um, something happened in the process that I must share because I don't want persons to feel that this is a fairy tale. This is reality.
Right.
He felt that I was getting too close to him, like too clingy. He's an introvert. So he said,
Oh.
Candice, let's not talk for 1 week. I was like, what does that mean? He's like, I just need time. What?
Yeah.
So I was dying by the minute. And it so happened that in between that week, we had counseling.
Right.
So I had to see his face. And the pastor was like, why are you so uncomfortable? I was like, because he hasn't spoken to me. And I broke down crying.
Oh.
And the pastor said, Candice, you need a few sessions with me one on one.
Right.
The pastor was able to deal with my attachment styles.
Yeah.
I dealt with a lot of rejection and abandoned wounds. And I
Oh.
had to go out the whole 9 years. And
Right.
then I understood why he needed space. Because it was
Yeah.
just too much for him. He never
Yeah.
experienced love like this before. And
Love like this.
it so happened that I was coming down to July, August holidays. He said, okay, it's time for you to meet my family.
Mm.
He bought the ticket. He brought me here, introduced me to the family.
Wow.
My holidays were 2 months,
He was
July,
so
August,
good.
because you know I'm a teacher. So I had to return.
Right.
Coming down to the end of my stay, August 26th, he carried me to church. After church, he said, walk with something comfortable. I want us to have a picnic. I was like, okay, cool, sounds good. Went to this church, a new church. We had lunch, went to this garden, walked for a whole hour around the garden. At the end, this woman is telling me, hi, you have a really good nice boyfriend. Can I borrow him for a picture? I was like,
Mm.
sure, no problem. I
Mm.
take the picture, and while I turn around to clean the lens, I'm seeing his brother coming from the bush, his mother coming from the steps, and everybody just come at me. And when I look down, he's on his knee. And I'm like, what's going on? Why everybody here? And he proposed.
Oh
And I
wow.
was like, this is not happening. And everybody who was there at the garden came with their pictures and was like real celebrating and stuff. So he
Wow.
proposed and he was like, I don't want you to go back home. I want you to be my wife. And would you marry me? And that was it.
Wow.
Put a pin, as Pastor Ray used to say, put a pin in it for 1 second.
Pastor Ray said that.
He used to say it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason it froze, so we was just trying to see what was going on.
I'm not sure what got
Yeah.
recorded, but we'll see after the fact.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, there.
Oh
Okay,
no,
okay.
no.
Not
No,
yet.
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. There
All
you
right,
go.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
Sorry.
Okay,
It's just
okay.
like kind of froze. We can still hear you talking, but everything it just froze. But no, it's fine. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the last thing you heard me say?
No, we heard he proposed.
He
Which
had
I knew.
ended
Yeah,
proposing
and he
to
said he
you.
didn't want you to go back.
Yeah.
So you came to visit and ended up staying. Pretty much what you're saying. So
Wow.
August 26th is when he proposed.
He
at the garden.
proposed. And then we got married October 15th.
Wow. So you
Look
did
at that.
faster than us. We thought we did it fast.
Oh my gosh. How did that make you feel? Was you overwhelmed with it happening so quickly?
To be honest, like I forgot I had to respond to him. like to say yes. So
Okay.
I was just in a daze. I was like, I think for me, part of me was mad that I didn't like
Yeah.
catch on that he was going to do something. Cause like
Right.
very dramatic. So
Right.
I pictured this moment, me being over the top, but I was
Mm-hmm.
just very, very still and at peace.
Right.
And I just didn't know what to do.
Mm.
So I felt overwhelmed, yes, but I was so happy. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
finally, I can exhale and breathe because somebody wants me to be their wife. And this
Right.
person, I have no doubts about. So
There you
that's the
go.
story in a
And listen,
nutshell.
God restored you. He didn't see like he just you lost your fiance, but he put him right into his spot, and you just so everything that happened with Nicholas is what would have happened with your fiance. The fiance that I forgot his name.
Ever.
Cover right. Everything that
Mm-hmm.
happened with that's what. So you still kind of had the same path. You probably would have got married around the same time. Everything just you just had a
Mm-hmm.
break, and then everything just kind of
Mm-hmm.
flowed, and then boom, you still, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and he just
You
took the
know what?
place. He literally just took the place of I can't never say names of Kevin or
Ever.
Keva.
Keva.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what was the hardest part to swallow? Just recently, I heard this sentence in my head, and I have no clue where it came from. It just popped up. It said, sometimes I will have to give you a season of preparation so
Mm.
that you could enjoy the prize.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And how I
Mm-hmm.
looked at it is that God already knew that he was going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
He knew.
think God just saw that, hey, I want you to start the healing process for a young lady, and
Mm-hmm.
I could trust you with this.
Right.
So your last few years, your last few months on earth, she's your mission.
Mm.
So I saw him as preparation for the prize.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that was hard for me to acknowledge because I was like, God, why would you put me through so much pain for me to get a prize?
Mm.
Listen,
And
God always
yeah,
put you through pain. I mean, people, as Christians, we always say like everything is so hunky dory.
Mm-hmm.
But in all honesty, that's how we learn. God
right.
is a strange way, but we learn more through our pain than we do through our happiness.
Right. And we don't always understand the
And we don't
why.
understand why, but it's the
Mm-hmm.
truth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why for me, like pain sometimes, I just stop and say, okay, Lord, what are you trying to teach me? What are you trying to show me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because when I'm like in so much pain, I'm like, maybe he's definitely trying to get my attention. So what am I not seeing? It's almost like it triggers me to pay more attention. Because I think sometimes we
Mhm.
get so um in our ways, we get so, just in our normal routine, you just go through everyday things and you start losing or you don't pay attention to things.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
and then God starts doing stuff and you're like, okay, this is painful. And then you're like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I always believe that pain is good.
Yeah, because God wants us to
Mhm.
trust Him more.
Pain is good. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not the ideal pain losing somebody,
Right.
but pain is definitely good because it always makes you think and open up your mind to what am I really need to do.
Mm.
Mhm.
Mm.
That's just my opinion, but yeah.
Right. I totally
It's
agree.
true. It pain brings perspective. You
Yeah,
know,
that's the word. Yeah,
if
perspective.
if you don't have the pain, you're not you're very limited to what you could see,
Mm-hmm.
and then it limits your understanding.
Right.
So
Do you think that dealing with the loss of your fiance and then meeting Nicholas, do you think that prepared you to deal with his, not that he was aggressive, but to deal like if you didn't have I can never
Keva.
because I want to say Kevin,
Mm.
if you didn't have him first in your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you
mhm.
just met Nicholas, it would have been different. Does that make
Yes,
sense?
Yeah.
You would have had a
yes.
different you would have had a different reaction to him than you would have
Mhm.
if you didn't, so do you
And
think that
let me tell you something. You're so right because the Bible says that God would not give you more than you could handle.
That's
right?
right.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
when I did some research, Keva and Nicholas are from the same parish.
Ah,
They went to the same school
ah, there you
and they
go.
have similar upbringings.
Mm.
Wow.
So it's almost like I got a chance to go through on the job training
Mm-hmm.
and that,
Oh,
probationary time
right,
Premarital
right.
to
counseling.
prepare for the ministry that was ahead.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Ah, okay.
Wow. Look at that.
See that it's because the way you told the story, it just that's what I just had in my head.
But like,
Like,
what's the odds for that
yeah,
actually even happening? Because that don't normally happen to people.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend that it happened to.
Really?
Yeah, she got married. They actually got married. He got sick. He passed, and she thought that she's actually a mental health advocate or mental health psychologist,
Right.
and then she met her husband that she's with now,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have a child together now and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, like you, I think it prepared. I don't know the whole story about him and the guy, but same thing. He
Mm-hmm.
passed suddenly. She thought it was the end of the world, and then a few months later, she met her husband now, and they got married, and it's been, last I saw or last I heard, it's been great. So,
Wow.
and they actually kind of look alike, same kind of build, everything,
Wow.
So yeah. So it's
Wow.
like it was a weird. So I've seen it before, but it don't shock me when you say that, and that
Wow.
explains why that's. And then you, even better yet, you probably wouldn't have got married as quick as you did if you didn't go through what you went through
Yeah. Because
in
I
the
tell
beginning.
people that relationship was a stretching for me.
Right.
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 And when you are stretched like a rubber band,
Mm-hmm.
God does it to build capacity,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and then He does it to let you see your capability.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this whole book became a motif for my life, being
Yes.
stretched. And I really believe that there's a lot of things that God wants us to prepare for
Mm-hmm.
before He presents it to us.
Yes.
Because I don't know any athlete who goes into a race without first stretching and preparing.
Right.
Football,
Because
basketball,
Mm-hmm.
soccer. Well,
yeah,
for football. But yeah,
because
everybody
what happens is
stretches.
that
You pull a
if they
hammy.
go through without stretching and preparing and training,
Mm-hmm.
they can injure themselves,
Mm-hmm.
bruise themselves, they can
Break a leg.
break a leg, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I know what you meant.
So
Strength. Yeah.
yeah, so it's very important to do the stretching and to do the preparation. But guess what? We want to skip the preparation because we
Yeah.
Of
believe we are
course.
already prepared
Mm-hmm.
and ready.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
But everything in nature, everything in life teaches us that there is a process.
Mm.
The fruits that we are eating today from the trees, those seeds were planted years ago.
Wow.
You know, making a bread, even if you're doing it in a bread maker,
Mm-hmm.
it takes hours, it takes
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
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 And some of us, we don't want to take the time to heal. So we
Mm-hmm.
go from relationship to relationship and we just bleed on each other.
And actually,
Wow.
talking about bread, if you don't add the right ingredients, it don't rise.
Mm.
Hmm.
So you have to add the right. If you add too much, it overrides. If you add too little, it deflates. So you have to
Yeah.
add the right
Yeah, but
ingredients
yet
in
through
order for
all
it
of
to
that,
rise.
God still allowed you to rise through it all.
That was
Hmm.
that was
And
my that
right.
was my point.
That was your point. But I was just putting it out there. But you know what?
That's my point.
Yeah, but I
Y'all
was
are
just
one, Pedro, so it's one point.
but I think it's just so wonderful how strong, you are. You know what I mean? Some people probably wouldn't have went through or would have wanted to go through the things that you have experienced. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And some people would have just been mad and just been like, I'm not doing it. They just probably would have went in a different direction. But
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they would have got mad at God. Like I thought he was the
Hmm.
right. I thought he was the one.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's my
you
turn.
probably had that thought a little bit too.
I did get mad at God.
I know.
I
I said I know you probably did, but you
yeah,
probably you did, but then you pivoted
yeah,
quickly.
I went through the process. And I
Mm-hmm.
think to Tara and Pedro that you all know that when you go through something is not really for you.
Right.
No. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You happen to benefit from it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's to help somebody else. And
Definitely.
that's why I've been advocating for women to get the counseling, do the healing, do the work, because a lot of us want the prize, but we don't want to do the work.
Yeah, we don't want to
Hmm.
work on ourselves. We don't want to
Mm-hmm.
build our relationship with God first before God puts somebody else in it. You know what I mean? We want everything now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the internet. You just want it. You want it just like this. You know.
Instant.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. You want
Instant.
to have it your way like Burger King. They still
Even
do they
though they're
still
not,
have
even
do
though
they
they're
still have
not
that slogan?
sponsoring us.
Do they still right? Do they still have that slogan in the US? Have it your way?
I think so, yeah.
I
I'm
know you
sure
don't
they
eat,
do.
but I mean, seeing a commercial or something. Do you see like it's have it your way?
Yeah.
Anyway, I just always
Mm-hmm.
remember that. Wow.
Wow.
So
Wow.
you now that you've been married for 5 months,
Yes.
you've been doing a couple of things. You have went off and did a counseling
Mm-hmm.
thing, a counseling service where you're now going to be, like you say, counseling women so
Mm-hmm.
that you can Toss putting up the screen so that you can, help women, like you said, to become stretched and strengthened for marriage. So that's the
Yes.
title, right? So you're doing one-on-one support sessions.
Right.
Um, you was mentioning something else before we started that you just finished. You want to
Oh,
enlighten us
yeah,
on
sure.
that?
So I am now a certified associate director with
Okay.
Neil Nedley. So basically, they showed us how to deal with persons who are affected by depression and anxiety
Okay.
and,
Hmm.
other mental health challenges. And since then, I've been called to do several programs. So we are in the month of March, and the month of March in Adventism, it's a focus on women. It's a focus on women, their
Mm-hmm.
health, their well-being, everything. So I said to myself, since I got married, I used to do something called like a journal that I would post for like day one of marriage, day two, day three.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
persons were like, hey, I want to find out more about this. And it started to grow that
Wow.
I would be sharing with two, three women every other day. So I
Mm-hmm.
said, here's what. God, I really want to support women. And I think that's what people need. They need support.
Right.
Hmm.
They need
Right.
guidance. And
Definitely.
I said, I'm going to blend all I've learned in terms of my experience. Because I tell people your experience makes you an expert
That's
in that
right.
field because you know what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So you would know I also wrote in two other books for Waiting in the Pit, one and two.
Mm-hmm.
Book one I dealt with grief. Book two I dealt with depression. So I'm taking those contents and God was able to help me to do like a stream of different courses that will prepare me with the information to start these support sessions.
Mm.
So it's been quite a journey
Mm-hmm.
because I'm realizing when I speak to these women, it's not things that they didn't know, but it's things that they avoided. But I
Mm-hmm.
Right.
told them in order to get where you need to get to, you can't avoid, you have to address.
Yeah.
So that
That's
is
it.
where I stand. Coming from my experience being married now,
Mm-hmm.
I take them through a similar process that I went through, which was doing the deep work. So
Right.
when Nicholas came, I was already at a space of maturity to deal with
Mm-hmm.
whatever would come with a relationship.
Right.
So I took elements from my book, Stretched
Mm-hmm.
Out Life, and I said, here's what women need to be stretched and they need to be strengthened. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes God could stretch you so much that you feel so weak you want to give up.
Yeah.
Oh
But
yeah.
I don't want you to just be stretched alone, but I want you to be strengthened, to
Right.
be empowered, equipped,
Mm-hmm.
and educated with the information you need to make some solid decisions.
Right.
So that has been the journey. What does it look like? So the full program is 16 sessions,
Okay.
but when I have a consultation call with these women, I kind of understand the core issues and challenges they have. So
Right.
I basically personalize the program to fit what their needs are.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, one day I sat down. It took like 2 hours, and then after the 2 hours, I had a program. And then after the 2 hours, I had my first client. And after the first
Wow.
client, she was like the woman at the well who encountered Jesus,
Right.
went and tell everybody, come and meet
Wow.
a woman who told me everything that I didn't know.
Wow. Wow.
And
Look
since
at
then,
God.
it's been an amazing journey. And yeah, God was just saying, hey, I took you through this because I could trust you with these situations.
This is it.
And I could trust you to help other women. So
Mm.
this is what came out of it.
It's powerful.
And
Mhm.
some of the things that they go through is like purging yourself of persons who hurt you. Because a lot of
Right.
women are still single because of unforgiveness.
Mhm.
Mm.
God is not going to hear your prayer for a husband if you can't forgive the men that hurt you,
Right.
you
That's
know?
it.
And then we go through understanding your triggers because God will present you with someone, but if you haven't dealt with the triggers, this person could turn the enemy,
Yes.
because what they are doing is triggering you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very interesting program. I also deal with growing through their grief
Mm-hmm.
because I'm telling people you don't have to wait until somebody is dead to go
That's
through
it.
grief. You could be
You could be
grieving a lost opportunity. You could be
definitely.
grieving the loss of a moment in time where you felt that you deserved it and it was taken from you.
Right.
We go through dealing with depression, addressing anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
and EQ is very big, like emotional intelligence. I think
Right.
y'all, a lot of marriages will be saved today if persons practice more emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what is unique about the program is that God showed me 16 women in the Bible who went through certain issues,
Mm-hmm.
sexual issues, mental issues, emotional rejection issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I took their stories mixed with my experience, mixed with the science of mental health, mixed with prayer, and packaged this to support women to prepare for the ministry of marriage.
Cool.
Wow.
How long is one session?
It's 1 hour.
1 hour. Okay.
Yeah.
That's I see
1 hour.
per session, but I wasn't sure how long, so I just wanted to ask that in case somebody's thinking that.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Okay. And it doesn't matter where they are; they can do wherever they could be here in the UK. They could be in the US. They could
Yes,
be in
because we do it
Trinidad.
online.
Right.
Okay,
Right. Right.
good. Good, good. And
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
have
people do online
a paid
too.
Zoom account that I wasn't
Okay.
making good use of. And I
Right.
was like, Candice, stop wasting resources. It's time to get to work.
Right.
I have. Now I'm trying to doubling back because I just had a thought in my head. That you got married 5 months ago, right? You got married.
Uh-huh.
I had to ask this question: how has it been for you leaving everything to move to the U.S.? And there's a
Well,
reason
that's
I'm
a good
asking this
question.
question because my wife deals with this every day. We was actually literally
Hmm.
just talking about it this afternoon or
Mm-hmm.
yesterday.
Yesterday. Yeah.
Yesterday we was talking about it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So that thought just popped in my head because I think that's good for people to have a view on that. Not that
Hmm.
I mean I want to talk about the book. I'm sorry, but it just popped in my head because you kind of you glossed over. You just said, "Oh, I got to the U.S. He said you want to marry me. We got married, and
Right.
now I'm here." But you didn't go how you been
Yeah.
dealing with that
Right.
because I think that'd
Being
be
away from home.
yeah because you
It's
left
been
everything.
challenging,
Mm-hmm.
and I would share why, but I will also say that having a godly husband who loves you, it makes
Right.
it worth it.
Yeah.
So
That's what
my
I thought too.
challenges were the culture shock
Yeah.
because church in the Caribbean is different from church in America.
Right.
Food in
Very
America
honest.
is different
Oh,
from
Yeah.
food
definitely.
in the Caribbean.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
People's personality and hospitality is
Mhm.
different
Mhm.
from the Caribbean versus America. So the
Yeah.
culture shock was one thing. The the fact that I was now, by the way, I came to the US with a carry-on as tall as my toe to my knee,
Wow.
and all I had was some nightgowns, a dress for church,
Mm.
Wow.
a rag to shower with, my Bible, and two of my favorite books.
Oh
That
Mm.
was
wow.
it.
Wow.
I left the love of my life, which is my grandmother. Nicholas
Oh.
is
I
my
know.
first love, but my grandmother,
Yeah.
she
And
has a
that's why I was
special
asking
place.
because I remember how we from conversations. I remember when you used to do a Pastor Ray, you used to do the Ray of Hope show and all of
Yes.
that. You know, I remember all. That's why that thought popped into my head
Yeah.
because I
Mm-hmm.
realized what you left behind.
Right.
Yep.
And you know,
So,
women have, like you said, they have to prepare themselves with something like that too.
Mhm.
So that's why I wanted you to talk about it because I knew it just popped in my head all of a sudden. I don't know why it popped in my head, but yeah,
you're very
finish.
wise, Pedro.
No, I'm not
'Cause,
wise. I just, like you said, personal experience. My wife is dealing
yeah,
with it every day
Yeah.
with her mother, her sister, her brother, and
I had to
I
leave
just
it all.
Yeah.
So I left my job, left ministry, left my family. I
Mhm.
left my comfort zone.
Oh,
Mhm.
Everything
definitely.
that made Candice,
I know how
I
you
felt like
feel.
I had to start over.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I got a name change, change of environment, migrated, married,
Mhm.
new ministry. I feel like a new person.
Yeah.
But how I dealt with it is that the Bible says you have to leave and cleave, right?
That's it.
Mhm.
That's
And
it.
I believe that there were things in Trinidad that was holding me back from being the person that I needed to be.
Mhm.
And it was a comfort zone,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
and
It was routine, tradition.
Mhm.
yes, because this might sound bad, but my grandmother is 92
Mhm.
and she has been washing my clothes for the past 12 years.
No way.
So in other words, you didn't know how to wash your own clothes.
It's not that my grandmother is a retired nurse
Right.
Okay.
So she
and
was
she just
home.
had it in her to take care of people.
Right.
Right.
So I take care of my grandmother. So her way of saying thanks is washing my clothes.
Gotcha.
Aw.
And that was one less chore for me.
When did you realize that when you had about 3 loads of clothes, you was like, what, wait, what? Or you couldn't find something because it was all
When I
dirty.
got married and I realized it's his clothes, my clothes,
Uh-huh.
and the sheets and the towels. I was like,
Who
okay.
finna do all this?
But
Right?
I adjusted quickly. I had to get a new routine. I
Yeah.
said, okay, on a Sunday and a Friday, I'll wash,
Yeah.
you know? And then Sunday night, I'll meal prep.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday, I'll cook a next batch of food. And that's how I went along. But I think for me, having to deal with it is that I recognize how much more I needed to depend on God because I had
Yeah.
a big support system home. And then now I learned how to submit to a man who I'm still learning.
Me too.
So that was
18 years
something.
later.
Yeah,
And you know the
and
fact,
then
Candice,
It doesn't
I'm
stop,
just gonna let
sis.
you know it
It
doesn't stop.
doesn't
And
stop.
it's for both of us, but for
I
what you just
know,
said, it doesn't stop. 18 years later, it's still going.
Mhm.
and I think too, I realized that when we came back from our honeymoon and we moved in to the home, and I woke up and I was like, "There's a man in my bed, and he's my husband."
Yes.
And I was like,
Wow.
"Oh, this feels good."
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All
So
mine.
yeah, it's just been very healing,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
sometimes God has to transplant you
Mm-hmm.
to just put you in new soil and heal you all over again.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
so I'm all about healing. I'm all about doing the work. I'm all about knowing that God is our
Mm,
restorer, and we know that in the Bible, Jesus did more healing than preaching.
he
Oh yeah.
did.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone that he encountered, they realized, hey, I can't do it without him.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, so yeah, and I'm a sucker for love. And
Oh.
Who
I've been
isn't?
admiring you all since the time we met. And I said, you know what? I love it. They keep it real. And I think
Yeah.
that is one of the things that makes your marriage heal. And it's not that your marriage is damaged, but it's
Mm-hmm.
two damaged people coming together to be whole.
There you go.
Yep. And
So,
we work on each other every day.
Mm-hmm.
We still
yeah,
fight.
and
Well, I don't want to say fight. We still argue.
We
We
have our
still
disagreements.
we was just she was getting on my nerves earlier. She was like, because I was away for a couple of days, and she was like,
A
"You
couple of
just
days for a whole week.
okay."
Feel like
I don't want to tell people what I was doing.
it feel like an eternity.
Whatever. Anyway, I was away for 4 days. I was in Wales, and I have to go back. But she was like, "You just can't wait to go back, right? To get some peace and quiet." And I was like, "Yeah, I can't wait. Come on." But we're joking about it, and we're just like, and then she's
yeah,
like, "I'm gonna miss you." I'm like, "Leave me alone." Like, just so it doesn't end. It just, we I think I on that point, I think somebody said, it was a quote I heard. They said that I don't know if it was a judge. I forgot her name, Judge Tulliver. I think I can't what TV show she had, but she said that you don't know how much you love somebody till you hate their guts, or not really hate their guts until you don't like them. When you
right.
when you have that thought in your head, I want to hurt this person. That's how you know how much you really love them.
Huh.
Because you it's gonna be days when your husband's just gonna work your nerves, or my wife is gonna work my nerves, and I just want to just like just scream, and then that's
I
when the
don't think I
love.
see it yet.
Yeah, but that's what that you're still
Not
in the
yet, sis.
honeymoon phase, girl.
Yeah,
You're
she's
still in the
still in the
honeymoon
honeymoon phase.
phase.
Yeah, but
You
We're
I
know
talking.
tell
when it
people
comes.
the honeymoon never ends.
I know, yeah.
Oh,
You know what?
not
It doesn't end, but
It
it does start.
adjusts
Yeah, it adjusts itself, right?
yeah.
But you have to keep the honeymoon
during the
going.
Fire
work.
going.
So even after 18 years, I still have to, we have we have your own little ways of keeping the honeymoon going.
Right.
Like if Tyra sees something and she's like, "Ooh, I would like something like that." I'll just buy it and then give it to her. And she's like, "Why'd you buy
Right.
it? You said you wanted it." To me, that's like my honeymoon phase for her. Just to give her what she wants. Trying to give her everything she wants. So so my wife is like, she see a little something, she'll go buy it. And it don't even have to be not like a cup or just or a candy bar. It doesn't have to be like big gifts, extravagant and expensive. It could just be little things, just little things, just getting the things that that the spouse likes.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I know they like flowers, or I know they like candy, or I know they like this type of food. Bringing home a plate of food, so bringing home food so she don't have to cook that night. I know my wife
Right.
appreciates that.
I
So
do.
some nights I could just hear it in her voice. I just bring home dinner, and she's like, "Oh, thank you. I didn't feel like cooking tonight." So
Yeah.
it's just doing little things like that.
Yeah.
I think
That's
that's what
true.
keeps a marriage. That just keeps a marriage flowing. So when those days when she gets on my nerves, I just remember I still love her. I still love her. I still love her. She's
Yeah.
getting on my nerves, but I still
Oh
love
my
her
God. But
because
what you said about the little things is so important because while I'm talking to you, I'm remembering when I used to do Candice Corner on Adventist Radio
Oh
with
my
Pastor
gosh,
I
Ray.
remember that.
yes.
Yeah, right. You did.
Um, Candice Corner used to be about relationships,
Yeah, you're right.
and Pastor Ray would respond and give feedback from a male perspective. And I realized it was those little things that was preparing me for this point,
Look
Mhm.
at that.
you know? So every discussion we have, every opportunity you get, God is preparing you for the next phase, the
Mhm.
next season, the next phase. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I've never smiled this much in my life before.
Wow.
And y'all know I like to
lot.
smile.
That's why you smile a lot.
I know, but these days it comes effortlessly.
Gotcha. It's
Look at
just
that.
And
right.
I'm really, really happy.
So you saying that when you met us, you just smiled. You was faking a smile. That's what you're
No,
saying.
I
I'm hurt
wasn't
now.
faking a smile. It's just that sometimes when I met you all, remember I was still grieving.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just
So
messing with you. You know I'm messing with you,
you
Candice.
like to mess with me too much.
Yeah, you
But
Yeah.
know that.
But yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm not as bad
Yeah.
as my son though.
Yeah.
As Johanny.
I've never gotten a real dose of him.
He got a little bit out of, at the restaurant, and he can rib a little bit.
Yeah.
I
Maybe.
guess.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go about. We'll let that go.
That was fun though. That was a fun evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get your mind off of things.
Now next
The whole
time
idea was
Yes.
to get your mind
now
off of
next time
things.
you come here, you're gonna have to bring your husband with you.
Why would she bring her
Yes.
husband? She thinks she's gonna come by herself?
No, I'm just saying.
What kind of question is
Some
that?
people, because they married, they do things alone. I was just saying. Next
Who
time she
you
comes,
think Candice
bring her
is not the type of person gonna do it alone? She go anywhere,
better
her
not.
husband going with her.
Mm?
Just
Yeah,
like
y'all
you
love
take me
him.
everywhere with you. I can't. I tell you to go by yourself. No, you got to go with me.
Mm.
Anyway, see how she started. She was. I know I love
It's
her.
all good.
I know I love her.
It's all
Man.
good.
You just sit and you smile, Candice.
No, but I have to say thank you to y'all because I don't know if y'all remember, but when I was back in Trinidad and y'all were live, I would always be in the chat trying to
Yeah, I
pick your
remember.
brain about marriage stuff,
All
Yeah,
right.
you know.
you did. When we did it
So
live, you was the only
yeah,
one
so
too.
why you have to be so real?
I'm just being honest. Nobody else would come on, but we was happy that you came on because the whole point of doing a live, I think we would do live more if people would, and if anybody listening to this and they want to just ask questions, we wanted questions and then get feedback and then talk off that's what the live is supposed to be for. When you're doing a live, you're just talking. It's all right, but I want some participation. I want some bring some knowledge and some experience and and ask questions. I like that. Because if we could do a longer show, or we can even do an hour show like we do now, but it's different.
Right.
Yeah.
It's different. But but we was in love when you did it because we can ask questions and and some days when we don't have anything to talk about, we could just get on and just talk.
Yeah.
That more than anything else made a difference.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm happy that y'all are in the ministry of helping persons out because when the enemy attacks a marriage, I tell people he gets two people for the price of one.
There you go.
And it's all about making numbers, you know?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Because if he messes up the one person, then he can.
I was just saying to God the other day, I said, Lord, thank you for giving me the opportunity to become a wife, to become a mother. Some people probably wouldn't experience being a wife, and they really want it really bad. And I know it's something that I prayed for, and God gave it to me. It wasn't perfect, we had situations, but I see where God was working on me, and He was working on my husband. And I look at where we are now, and I'm like, Lord, thank you. Because I'm happy. I'm happy in my life. I'm happy with my husband. I'm happy with my children. I don't have any regret.
You were saying that earlier.
Stop it. Stop it. You just messed up my whole flow.
Should I leave the room?
He just messed up my whole flow.
She did something that irritated me, and then
So he's obviously still in his feelings because I poured out all his Coca-Cola or Pepsi.
No, Pepsi.
Whatever. I told him it's for your best interest, for your body. No more Coca-Cola.
Pepsi.
Whatever.
I don't drink Coca-Cola.
Pepsi. Same thing.
Whatever.
Anyway. They're cousins.
There you go. I poured it out and I came to him and I said, babe, you're going to be upset about this, but I'll pour out all of your Pepsi. It's gone. And he was like, why did you do that? So I went to the store and I said, you know what? I'm going to buy you a cup. And I bought him 2 Pepsi bottles, the 2 small ones. I said, here you go. Only because it's your birthday. But other than that, I wouldn't be buying him any soda. I would have bought him a big old jug of water and be like, drink that. Yeah. So I only do things for his best interest because I care about him and his
So
health.
Tara, you're gonna sing him happy birthday.
I am.
No.
I'm
She
gonna
don't
sing
she
him
don't
happy
sing
birthday.
for me. People ask me all the time, does your wife sing for you? No, she sings around the house, but she doesn't sing specifically to me.
Do
which
you
is
want me
fine.
to?
No, I never asked you to.
Oh, okay.
No, that's my point. No, I don't actually. No, no, I don't. You know why? Because I feel like if I ask her to, it's asking something. She gets asked so much. If I asked her, I don't want to be a part of that because I can see sometimes the stress and the thing that puts on her when she does it. So I don't want to add to.
I enjoy singing.
You do enjoy singing, but every now and then you just want to break.
Sometimes,
And why should I be the one to be like, oh, can you sing for me?
But if you wanted me to, honey, I would.
I know you would, but I don't ask you to.
Okay. So,
There you
Candice, you
go.
got your answer.
I was really looking
Huh?
forward to her singing happy birthday to you, but okay.
Oh, you want her to sing it now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You
She
want me
wants
to say
you to
happy
sing it
birthday?
now.
Happy birthday to you tomorrow. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to my husband of 18 years.
Mm.
Happy birthday to you. I love you, baby.
Love you too.
Oh,
Aw.
you know I love love.
You better remember this. This is on video, so you can be able to go back and see it.
Whatever. Whatever.
Oh, Candice, thank you
I'm
so
gonna
much
delete
for
it.
coming on. You better not. I don't want to do the editing.
Oh, so wait, go bring the thing back up because we got for the radio.
Oh, for the radio.
Right. So anybody interested in registering or even getting in touch with Candice,
Yep.
is it Theatrecandicelife?
Yes.
All right. So the email is theatrecandicelife@gmail.com. So it's TheatreCandicelife@gmail.com.
Yes.
What? I'm making sure I spell it out right so they can write it down.
No problem. And she's on Instagram at Speak with Candice.
At Speak with Candice.
Yeah.
With a C. So Candice, Candice.
Mm-hmm.
So Speak with Candice at Speak with Candice on Instagram.
Yep.
And if you, and matter of fact, if you need to get her link or you couldn't, then you can always go on our YouTube page. It'll be there.
Yeah, I'm going to put the information in the description.
Or you can hit us up on the Goddess Ministry at gmail.com and we can pass the information on to you. We can pass the flyer on to you.
Right. And we will be posting this on our Facebook page as well.
Yeah, we'll be putting it on our Facebook page. So it
can be on, it's going to be everywhere. So I'm going to make sure it's there. And people can start reaching out to you so they can start their healing process.
Yeah, like and subscribe and share.
Mm-hmm.
Is it specifically just for women?
Yeah, for now. Because Nicholas told me.
You know that question is going to come too.
Yeah.
Can heal podcast at gmail.com. I said, what did I say? The Goddess Ministry? Yeah, we do have both. But marriage can heal podcast at gmail.com.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm still trying to get Nicholas to join me. So we could support meals as well.
Right.
Even though I could talk to a male, it's not the same because I don't understand that life.
Right.
And it's not just for single women. It's for married women as well who believe somewhere along the line things kind of shifted and went off track or out of alignment.
Right.
So I'm here to support you to get that stretched out and strengthened so that you could really live that successful marriage life. I believe it is possible. Among all the other challenges, your marriage could be healthy and your marriage could be healed.
Right.
And I believe for the woman who believes in this season, God is getting ready to prepare for marriage. Or she's already married and she wants things to be better.
Right.
Yeah, I think these support sessions, according to Pedro, I know it's going to work because it's already been blessing some
Speak
women
from it. You have
already
to
that I'm
claim it.
working with.
As Tara says,
Yeah.
claim it.
Yeah.
Claim it on the
Yeah.
blood of Jesus.
Yeah.
Claim it. Don't say I think. You know.
That's right.
Because
Yes.
God has impressed on you, and anything that God impresses on you is for a reason. So what you're doing is what God has impressed on you. So it's definitely for a reason, and it's gonna, even if it helps one or two people, it's helping somebody, and that's all that matters. That you're helping somebody.
That's it.
And also along the way, you're gonna be healing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
We say that with our podcast all the time. We talk to help others, but at the same token, this is healing. This has been helping us for the last couple of years in our marriage. Each and every day we learn something new, or we do something. You're like, oh wow, okay, I never thought of that, and then we can have a discussion afterwards. Like, did I used to do that to you, or did I? So it helps us too.
Yeah. And I have a surprise for you.
Go ahead.
So the surprise is anyone who comes forward and they share the promo code Heal My Marriage podcast, they're gonna get a bonus session with my husband and I at the end of their sessions.
Look
Cool.
at that.
All right.
Look at that.
So
Yeah,
if they put,
Yeah.
so they
So how
have
do
they have to subscribe and like the channel and give us the promo code, and they'll get that bonus session.
okay,
Okay, cool.
Hear My
Thank
Marriage
you,
podcast.
Candice.
Thank
That's
you,
amazing.
Candice.
Yeah, because I tell people all the time, whatever you want, invest in it. So
Yeah.
you want a healthy marriage, invest in being a subscriber
Yeah.
or support their podcast. Send them a love gift.
Yeah.
Contribute.
Because I told Pedro, I said I really want us to get into doing a session with married couples and just talking to them about things that people don't want to talk about.
As you said, that pastor was talking about.
Right, and just invite people in. And like I told them, it could be free. They don't have to charge anything. Just bring people in and make them comfortable and just talk to them.
Oh, uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Uncomfortable is good too.
Yeah,
Gotta hold on tight.
Hush, and because we such because some people just so afraid to talk about things that are going bad in a relationship. They hold it to the vest, and all of a sudden they divorce, and you like why? And it's probably could have been a situation that could have been resolved, and they can start healing. But some people leave before they get a chance to heal.
Because that's
I'm
a
excited.
cycle. That's a cycle that we have, which we need to talk about. But that's a cycle that we have started ourselves. Not doing it the right way. Not getting like you did the premarital counseling.
Right.
You did the prayer, the fasting. Some people just jump right in, and then it doesn't work, so they jump out, jump right back in again. I'm guilty of that. I did that. So, but I was blessed that God finally, slapped me upside the head and got me kind of straight. I'm still kind of crooked a little bit, but
So Candice, before we end, could you give us the name of your book so we can, if people want us to purchase, and then I'll also put the link. Is this the Amazon link, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I can then for people. Okay, so go ahead. What's the title of it?
So it's the stretched out life.
Okay, the stretched out life. Okay.
Yeah.
So guys, you
with
see
my previous name,
Okay.
Candice
So
M.
we'll have Candice.
I just realized something. Candice, anyway, I'm not even gonna go there. This something for off the camera. I just realized something.
Yeah. So
you're hiding from somebody. You're hiding from somebody. That's all I'm gonna say.
I am hiding.
Yeah, no, I'm joking. Your parents. You change your appearance like 1 minute I see you one way, then I see you another way. It just dawned on me.
Candice is a woman of all different looks.
I know you got so many different looks. I don't know which one. I just realized.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, what do you mean from the cover?
No, well, from that cover, if I remember correctly, you had a lot of hair. Then you cut off all your hair for that cover or right before that cover. So it was weird because you actually put everything out and then you popped up with cut off hair. Now your hair, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Like I said, it was something, I just realized it,
Well, it's something that I believe it's not scientifically proven yet, but you could get a glimpse of what a woman is going through based on what her hair looks like.
Oh no, we believe that.
That's the truth.
I know we're supposed to be ended, but we believe that because when Tara was going through what we was going through it, She chopped off all her hair.
Every last bit of it.
Chopped it off to like it was just spikes, like not even an afro. It was just spiky. And I came home. It was all off because I had put so much stress and pressure on her at that time. It was like she was trying to like start over and release herself.
It's a reboot.
Yeah, we believe it. I know. I definitely get. No, I get that. Yeah, a woman's hair would definitely tell you where she's at mentally, physically, spiritually, always. Because that, you right on point on that one. We totally agree on that. Yep. Definitely.
Yeah. So
you haven't stopped smiling since you've been on.
What's that?
You haven't stopped smiling since you've been on.
I know, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm gonna be just like you, Candice. I'm gonna keep smiling. See?
I think when we look at our spouse as somebody who is going through a process that we have no idea of, we'd learn to love them differently. Yeah.
That's true. That is absolutely true.
I love that man. He's good sauce.
Cool.
Tell him we say hello.
Tell me say hello.
And that
I will.
And he probably just say, tell him I say hello back.
He what?
He probably just do it real low, like tell him I say hello back. I'll be honest, looking at the pictures, because you was putting pictures up of your honeymoon. And
yeah.
He looked like an introvert.
He is.
I don't mean this in a bad way. He looked uncomfortable. Some of the pictures.
Yeah, he was.
He looked. I'm just being honest. I'm gonna be real with you, Candice.
He doesn't like the spotlight at all.
Yeah, he didn't like. He was like, let's just get this picture over with. Hurry up, take the pictures. Let's go. Yeah, like, okay, can we move on, please? Why do you want another picture? At some point, the pictures look like he was saying, like, why do you want another picture? We've already done like 25. We got to do another one. I'm being honest. I could almost just looking at him see it.
It's true.
Like I hate pictures.
Pedro, you hate photos.
I hate photos. So after a while, I'm just like, no, stop, no. So
but the thing is, he didn't realize how much of me was out there.
Right.
So he always tells people, if you do a Google search, you'll see 1 out of a million pages. If you do a search on him, you'll see 0 out of 0. Because he has always been private.
Right.
Gotcha.
So Google has learned of him because of me. And he said he liked it being private. So there's a lot of things I could share, but just to respect him, I choose not to share it.
Yeah,
that makes sense. I totally get it. It's not no thing. Everybody's not made for social media and to be out there like that. So I do get it.
He says I'm a celebrity, but I don't see that.
You are. You all over the place.
Yeah.
I see you all over. I don't even like to be on Facebook and stuff like that. To be honest with you, I just do this podcast because my wife makes me. I'm just joking.
Okay, you're revealing too much now.
No. I'm joking. I do because I love it, but I just do the podcast. But when it comes to like promoting or putting it like just being on Facebook, I'm not. I'm like that too. I like to be private. I'm not. I'm not trying to put, which is weird, because when I talk transparently and freely, but I actually don't like to. It's weird. I don't know, but I do get him in the sense of his being an introvert. Because I definitely could see it in the pictures. And I would say to Tara, he does not look like he's enjoying himself. Poor thing. We felt bad for him. He was like, poor thing.
Nobody. He had a lot of fun. It's just that he wished that the pictures wasn't a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, it's nothing wrong with that, though.
Nothing wrong with that.
You guys look beautiful together.
Definitely. And happy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So happy for you guys. And congratulations again.
Congrats. Yes.
And thank you for coming on our podcast again.
Yes.
Oh, thank you for having me.
No problem. You got to come on again.
Mm-hmm. So, guys, look her up on Facebook, Instagram. Is you on Twitter?
No.
Okay, but
just on Facebook and Instagram for now.
Okay.
Speak with Candice is on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And what's your on Facebook?
Facebook, I had to change Candice Andrews-Bailey.
Okay.
I think I'll change it to Candice Bailey, but I don't think persons are ready yet.
All right.
Alrighty.
All right.
So you guys, y'all can find her on those platforms, and we will see you guys again.
Yes.
All
We
right.
want to thank you for joining us and Candice on Heal My Marriage podcast.
That's right.
My name is Pedro.
And my name is Sarah. And this
Blessings.
is Candice. Bye.
And Candice Bailey.
All right,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye, guys.
you.
All right.